Hey everyone, Amy Bowser-Tennant here, the Genealogy Reporter, and it's another episode of Genealogy Tip Tuesday. We're talking about the Freedmen's Bureau records today. The Freedmen's Bureau was created in 1865, and the idea was to help former enslaved persons and even poor whites in the South after the Civil War. And they were going to help them with things like education, legalizing their marriages, getting bank accounts, land, different things of this nature. Now, there are lots of different records contained in the Freedmen's Bureau records, but the ones that I love the most are probably the Freedmen's bank records. These are amazing. There were roughly over 25 branches of the Freedmen's Savings and Trust Company across the southern United States, and even as far north as New York and Maryland. The bank was interested in protecting the heirs of their depositors. And so because of that, they would ask lots of questions regarding these persons' family data, like who's your mom, who's your dad, siblings, sometimes even who was your sibling married to, where was your sibling living, children's names, and things like that. So lots of good family data is collected in these Freedmen's bank records. Now you can search these records online for free at FamilySearch. Let me show you that. So here you are at FamilySearch.org. You're going to want to sign in. And if you don't have an account, you can make a free account. Over here to the left, you're going to click on Search, the catalog. Now there's a couple of ways you can get to these Freedmen bank records, but I'm going to choose titles, and I'm going to type in Freedmen's bank records. You can see it's already there, and then click search. There are three collections here, but it's the last one I'm interested in. And here we have the United States Freedmen's bank records, 1865 to 1874. I can click here and review, or rather search the collection by name. I might put in my ancestor's name, maybe where they were born or where I think they were residing during these years, possibly a relationship name like a spouse's name or something like that. Or I could scroll down and browse through the images. Okay, so I'm going to browse because I want to show you that depending on where the records were created and what time frame, they look a little different and they ask different questions. So first I want to take a look at the Nashville, Tennessee records. Let's see here. Here's Nashville, Tennessee. I'm going to click there, and I have this particular roll. Now I'm looking at the microfilm for Nashville, Tennessee's bank. If you click here on the right, you can go through some introduction material. I'll let you read that on your own. In the meantime, I'm going to go here to here. Let's just go to image 40. And let's scroll in. And sometimes the writing is really easy to read, and sometimes not so much. Here we have one for Green Bailey. This is the date, March 8th, 1872. He was born in Richmond, Virginia, but brought up in Lincoln County, Tennessee. Well, at least it looks like Tennessee. It talks about his current residence, his age, his complexion, who he's working for. His wife is named Belle. He has one child, looks like Irene. His father was Joshua. His mother was Mahala. She's since passed. He has numerous brothers and sisters, Elijah, Alex, Henry, etc. Oh my goodness, lots of them. And then he has his mark here for his signature. So this record was from Nashville, Tennessee. Now let's go back and again, let's browse. Let me show you what a different record might look like. This one from South Carolina, Charleston, to be specific. And I'm going to go, let's go to image 22. Okay, this record is on 2 pages. Okay, so let's zoom in. We've got the record is for Isaiah Johnson. He was born in Orangeburg, South Carolina. Complexion is black. He served in the Civil War. There's some information that would be helpful. His current residence, again, is Orangeburg, South Carolina. Now, on the rest of this page, he doesn't say anything about his name of his father or mother, brothers or sisters or anything. But over here on page 2, let's take a look here. He says the name of father of the husband or wife. So this would likely be his wife's father, would be Adam Wolf, even though he did not put his name, the name of his wife over here. So that's kind of interesting. But he does say that the name of his last master was Warren Schouler. That is great to have that piece of information. And the last place that he was enslaved was Orangeburg, South Carolina. Another good piece of information. Here's a interesting fact, I should say. He has a scar from a burn on his right forearm and also a scar over his right eye. So that's kind of neat to have that little extra description of what this person looked like. Now, not only do we have these amazing records for the Freedmen's Bank, but I want to take you to United States Freedmen's Bureau marriages. Now, these marriages were to solemnize marriages that had taken place during the enslaved years. And so this was a way for the freed slaves to legitimize their marriage, to solemnize their marriage. These records are also available online at FamilySearch. So to find these records, again, we are logged in. We're going to click on search and our catalog again. And this time, in the titles section, we're going to put in Freedmen's Bureau marriages. And we have here the United States Freedmen's Bureau marriages 1861 to 1872. We can click here and search by our ancestor by name, or we can browse the images. Notice there are not very many. But let's say we have an ancestor in, let's say their name is Dennis Freeman, and they were living, we're just going to put any, in Tennessee. And let's see what we might get. Wow, only one. Let's click here on Dennis Freeman. And zoom in. And here we have Memphis, Tennessee, August 1865. I have this day united in matrimony, Dennis Freeman of Memphis and Eliza J. Shepherd of Memphis. Now, this is really important. Age of the man, 45 years. That's Dennis's age. His color is yellow. Ditto of his father. That means what was the color of Dennis's father? He was white. Ditto of his mother. That means the color of his mother was black. He lived, this means Dennis lived with another woman 1 year. He was separated from her by his master. Now we're talking about the age of the woman, Eliza J. Shepherd, okay? The wife that he's marrying today. 25 years. Her color is yellow. Ditto of her father, yellow. Ditto, meaning the color of her mother was black. She lived with another man 3 years and was separated from him by death. They, that meaning Dennis Freeman and Eliza J. Shepherd, unitedly have 1 child. Ditto of the man by his previous connection. That means he has 1 child by his previous wife. And ditto of the woman, she has, that being Eliza, has 2 children by her former husband. So that's how you read one of these records. But you can see tons of great information is found in these marriage records. Now, you're going to want to learn more about these Freedmen's Bureau records, and you can do that just by simply Googling Freedmen's Bureau record. But I wanted to bring your attention to the wonderful articles you can find at the National Archives Prologue magazine. And one of those is called Sealing the Sacred Bonds of Holy Matrimony by Reginald Washington. And it talks about all the interesting details that one might find in marriage records and why legally sealing their matrimony was so important to them, and also talks about some of the complications of marriages when the persons were in slavery. It talks about the different states and how they kind of differed when they went about solemnizing these marriages. So lots of great education. So I suggest you read this article among many others found at the Prologue magazine about the Freedmen's Bureau records. Wonderful, wonderful resource. Well, thanks for joining me today. I look forward to seeing you next week. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to our channel. We need you. Thanks. Bye-bye.